morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. As we return with our conversations this morning, we're starting off by talking about the TTPS's Community Justice Clinic. And to have that conversation with me this morning, I have the pleasure of joining me online, Sajina Kadir, who's an attorney at law, as well as Senior Soup, Michelle Pierre, head of the Interagency Task Force. And in studio, I have Acting Corporal Brathwaite. Good morning and welcome to Tobago Updates. We're glad to have you this morning. This morning we're talking about the Community Justice Clinic, whereby the TTPS, along with some legal attorneys, are going to be offering free legal advice to Tobagonians. So you are here in Tobago. Tell us a bit about the event and some of your colleagues that will be joining you to have this event.
Okay, the event, the attorneys will be coming to Tobago and they are going to offer free legal services to members of the community. Mind you, they will be in Mount St. George and they will also be in Roxborough, and it will be happening at the same time simultaneously. So they are going about any communities, talking to persons, and you could talk to them about anything, any legal matters. Be reminded that they are here to protect and serve the community's legal interests. So they will be around. Before the clinic starts, we'll be going through the communities. We'll be sharing the pamphlets. We are going to do a walkabout in the community, informing persons about what is taking place, how they could access it. And mind you, everything is free. It's going to take place on the 29th, which is the last Saturday in every month. They normally keep the Justice Clinic. We are privy to having it in Tobago this rounds. Yes, it is in the east. Mind you, they came before. They were at the cultural complex, and as time progressed, they're going to come back and they may also engage persons in the West. But just because they're in the East doesn't mean that the persons in the West cannot access the legal clinic. It's open for everybody.
Right, and we have online attorney Sajina. Good morning, and tell us a bit about how this entire community justice clinic came about.
Good morning to you and to everyone locked on. Good morning as well. So the Community Justice Clinic project started about 3 years ago during the lockdown period when I pitched an idea to the then Superintendent of Police, Michael Pierre, who is on the link as well. There was a lot of hardship during the COVID-19 pandemic, and when families had to stay at home, it wasn't a vacation for everyone. It was actually in some homes very toxic. And I thought in the economic challenging times that was being faced, people couldn't afford an attorney. And let's be real, people think attorneys are exorbitant in fees, right? So what we decided to do is to take the legal advice to the communities. And the last Saturday of every month, we visit 2 communities, 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
Excellent. And what are the communities that you guys would be visiting while you are here in Tobago?
So we will be at the Mount St. George Police Youth Club and the Roxborough Police Youth Club as well. This is our fifth time to Tobago, and as the team of attorneys, it's a volunteer attorneys, right? So as the team continues to grow, we will of course try our best and have our best to extend the services, even a lengthier duration in Tobago.
Right, and at both locations, they would be going from 8 to 1. Explain the time.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, excellent. And the event, Mr. Brathwaite, is it directly tied to the police youth clubs? Tell us about the youth clubs' involvement in this initiative.
Right, the event it's a partnership with the Tobago Police Service and by extension the Community Policing Unit. The community police we are here for community engagement. We foster partnerships with the community, amongst other things. So the policy club, we are facilitating the initiative. The policy clubs that have clubhouses like Mount St. George and Roxborough, the program is targeted for members in the community. And as I would have mentioned before, just reiterating, even though it's in Mount St. George, it's open for persons from all over Tobago. If you're from Crown Point, you can come down to Mount St. George and you can access the legal clinic. Normally, persons will have to go to an attorney's office and pay monies, even consultation fees. But today, that Saturday is going to be free, and they will even help you with a number of legal questions that persons will have. The policy clubs, what we do, we foster the collaboration, we foster the partnership, we foster the community engagements. Sometimes we bring out the youths who will even have legal questions. Young people have legal questions as well. So they are afforded the opportunity to come and speak to an actual lawyer about legal matters. They could bring their parents and so on. So we partner with them. We are providing the facility, the location, and the space, and we are also bringing out our members, the parents, and the stakeholders.
Right. And Attorney Kadir, tell us what is the extent of the advising that persons can look forward to? Because a lot of times when you hear about legal clinics, you think, okay, they might just tell me if I have a case or if I don't have a case, but yet I still have to
Yes,
go
that's right.
to an attorney. So what is the extent of
Right.
the advising that would be given?
Right. So the majority of the team are all private practitioners. So we made a team decision. We see every type of legal matter except of a criminal nature. I would allow senior super to explain why shortly. However, we see any type of matter except the criminal, but with regard to domestic violence matters, which is quite prevalent, we would take those matters straight to court pro bono. So the vulnerable citizens feel even more protected by the service, not just having initial preliminary advice, but walking with them through a very high intensity type of matter all the way through court in endeavoring to obtain a protection order in matters of domestic violence.
All right. And Senior Superintendent, tell us a bit more about the range of services or advising that we can see happening at this community justice clinic.
Okay, so good morning to you. Good morning, Tobago. I want to take you back a bit to the start of the clinic. When the idea was pitched to me as the head of the community-oriented police section at that stage, what I saw is that this initiative would be an excellent crime fighting tool to be used by the TTPS. In what way? It means that we would be bringing knowledge to persons who may not have had before, who may have wanted to take the law into their own hands. So we are giving them alternatives, the greater understanding of what they can or cannot do. We've also looked at assisting those persons, just as the attorney would have said, Mr. Kadir, that to bring the matters straight before the court so that it would eliminate some of the domestic violence that comes from situations within the homes. It's not only the murders, but we see there's the woundings, assaulted by beaten, and such type crimes that emanate from domestic situations. So bringing this clinic to the members of the public, it would have had an impact to reduce these crimes in the Trinidad and Tobago.
All right. And tell us about the range of services or range of advice that we can
Types of
hear
matters,
from.
right. So we do matrimonial grievances, private and civil matters. So we're talking about divorce, custody, access, maintenance, land, estate, even immigration. Once it is a legal grievance, we deal with it, except if it is a situation where it's like a larceny or crime, then it being a partnership that falls under the TTPS umbrella, we don't do those types of matters. So
Okay.
we're really urging members of the public to come out and take advantage of the.
And I might add that in relation to criminal matters, it would be a conflict of interest for the clinic to deal with criminal matters.
Please explain that a bit.
Okay, so our function, we are, as the police, we deal with crime. We detect crimes and other infractions of the law, which we take before the court to be dealt with before a court of competent jurisdiction. So, in order for us to treat with the criminal elements out there through the clinic, it would be a conflict because we are the ones mandated to treat with crimes.
Okay. Understood. We're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back right after this. Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. We're talking about the Community Justice Clinic that's happening at Monk St. George Police Youth Club as well as in Roxborough. And this is happening on Saturday, the 29th of June. And online we have joining us attorney Sajina as well as Senior Superintendent Michael Pierre. Welcome back, guys, and thank you for being here this morning. Attorney Sajina, one of the questions that I want to ask, when you begin having conversations with an attorney and you come to that conclusion that, okay, you are my attorney in this situation, there is attorney-client privilege. Now, when we have something like a public community clinic, does attorney-client privilege exist there when someone comes to you, especially in matters of confidentiality?
Yes, of course. So when we host these community justice clinics across Trinidad and Tobago, the same rules that governs attorneys under the Legal Professional Act and of course under our code of ethics as to our conduct to clients as well as fellow attorneys, we must maintain the highest standard at all times. So the same demeanor applies when we are at the clinics across our country.
Okay, so you are legally obligated to ensure that that confidentiality remains.
We definitely are. The only time, you see, because it's a partnered initiative and we have police officers present, at times there may be an issue between an attorney and a member of the public that may warrant urgent police intervention. And because of the presence of the officers, we may ask the officer to be present to provide some assistance, but that doesn't breach the legal privilege. It actually amplifies the service to be provided to that particular member of the public.
All right, no problem. And when you talked about protection orders, you talked about marriage, divorce, issues surrounding land. Are persons able to hire the attorneys that are present for their case after they have gotten that initial consultation?
Right. So because this is a serving initiative not meant to break pockets of members of the public or even charge them in any form or fashion, it was a team decision and one of the ground rules from the get-go that none of the clients we actually take into private practice because it will be defeating the purpose of the initiative in our respectful view. So there are other forums like legal aid or even sometimes the kindness of an attorney on the team to take it pro bono. With the domestic violence, because it's so prevalent, we definitely do that pro bono. But let's be real, we all have private practices, so we can't take everything pro bono. But, you know, being human, sometimes when we engage members of the public, having a heart, we feel for them, and we may take it on pro bono. But to take it on as part of our office, it will almost be an insult to the purpose of the initiative, which is a giving back initiative and a serving one, especially to bring immediate redress to legal issues, even at its most preliminary stage.
Okay, and how does it work when you guys are attorneys that are based in Trinidad when you get clients here in Tobago?
Right. So the similar code of ethics that we adopted in the project applies. So there have been willing persons in Tobago who took up a particular land matter. Land matters are very prevalent in Tobago. You see how we see domestic violence a lot in Trinidad. We see a lot of land matters in Tobago, more so than the domestic violence, right? So there was one matter that comes to my mind that an attorney took up pro bono. The same rules that we apply to the members of the public in Trinidad will still be given to Tobago. The point is we don't want to pump our private practice. We want to serve the members of the public by the attorneys who actually are over 10 years in practice and competent enough to give the gift of their time and provide the service, even across the style.
So, right, how does that relationship work when you're in Trinidad and your client is in Tobago? Does the person come down to Trinidad for hearings or you coming to Tobago?
So, right, I understand what you're asking. So what may happen, and I know of one matter, as I said, where this occurred, the Tobago attorney would communicate with the person and a virtual platform like Zoom created to facilitate any further questions that they may have or anything of that nature. But just to be clear so that the members of the public understand, we cannot take all matters pro bono.
Transformer.
So we make a team decision as to which is done. It's not an individual decision. So the client finds the attorney nice and feel comfortable, and that attorney just snaps her fingers or his fingers and say, look, I'm going to do this pro bono. It must be a team decision. I am the team lead for the attorneys in this project, and we have the record keeping necessary. So we actually decided after the clinic if there's any matter deemed urgent, or if anybody wishes of their own volition to give the gift of their time in the longevity, meaning proceeding with the application before the court. And well, as you would know, court is virtual, so it really circumvents any concern about how we help someone in Tobago, because the virtual platform since COVID has been very kind to progress.
Understood. And so, as we round off our discussion this morning, please again, Senior Superintendent Michael, just let us Tobagonians know, persons who can attend know, why it's so important to be a part of this community justice clinic.
Okay, so before I do that, based on one question you asked in terms of the layout, the clinic is set up in such a way that the person coming for service deals directly with the attorney privately. So it's not an open air forum where the attorney is addressing everyone at the same time. It's just as if you go to the attorney's office and you meet with them to treat with the matter in particular that you're coming for. I'm saying to the members of the public, it's a free service, and we know that a lot of persons there would have issues that they may even just want to get an answer to a question in relation to how they can treat with a matter. Maybe it's a land issue, maybe it's a matter of custody, maybe it's one of these issues that you if you treat with it by yourself, you might turn the law into your own hands, right? So we want to urge the members of the public, come out, receive the free service. The other thing is on Friday the 28th, we will be out there on the streets in Tobago doing an outreach, handing out the flyers, talking to the citizens outside there so that persons who may not have access to social media or other media platforms can receive the word to attend the clinics on Saturday the 29th.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, is there anything that you want to remind Tobagonians before we wrap up this morning in regards to their attendance?
Just once again, the clinic is open for persons from all parts of Tobago. From Crown Point to Charlottesville, you have two locations, Roxborough and Mount St. George Policy Club, and you can attend. It's free of charge. I heard of using the big word pro bono. I think pro bono also means free of charge for those of you all who may be concerned about it. And yes, it's about building trust and relationships with the community. It's about education and awareness. It's about youth engagement and community engagement. Part of the community policing mandate is community engagement, and that's what we are hoping to achieve by doing this. So we are working with the Justice Clinic, we are working with Trinidad, and we hope that the citizens of Tobago will benefit. Sometimes persons will say everything is in Trinidad, but they are coming to Tobago. They're taking their time and effort to come to Tobago with a whole team to provide the same service that is afforded to those members in Trinidad. Once again, it's open to everybody. You don't have to be a member of the policy club. Just come out, engage your attorneys, and get your legal advice. And I from being there, I saw some of the attorneys actually doing legal work right there, engaging the persons, some of them with their laptops preparing, helping persons with their will. I saw a lot. I saw they offer even more advice. So even though you may think that they won't offer that, come and talk to the lawyers and they will offer advice. They even go beyond the call of duty on that day. So you'll come out. You and Uncle come out and ask questions.
I will, because I have questions to ask.
And let the team come and ask questions as well.
All right. Well, we want to thank you guys again for being here. Thank you for in making sure that Tobago is a part of the Community Justice Clinic. All right, guys, we're going to take a break right here, and we'll be back right after this.